Welcome to this episode of Diaspora Scholars TV, where we bring you stories about the journeys of students and scholars in the United States. In this show, we bring you the story of one Robert Maina Rukwaro, a PhD student in health communications in Indianapolis, Indiana. I'll get right into it. It's me, your host, Dr. Fidelis Ndombera. My friends call me Daktari. Robert,
Yes.
how are studies?
So far, so good.
So far, so good, you say.
Yeah.
How long have you been doing this? Did you just join recently?
Yeah, I joined this fall of 2024, so I am 1 month and a few weeks in.
So if you say fall 2024, you mean in August or September 2024?
Yes.
Oh, interesting. So, I mean, you say so far, so good. It's about 9 weeks down the road, and that's encouraging. But let's trace your life back in Kenya.
Yeah.
Earlier on, before the show, you told me, you came from Kenya, you went to school in Kenya, you were actually born in Kenya, and then you immigrated to the United States for further studies. So, which school did you go to? Like middle school or primary school, as you call it in Kenya?
Yeah.
Which school did you go to?
So I attended Kanunga Primary School. That is in Gatanga sub-county of the larger Murang'a County. So Kanunga Primary School was where I did my primary school, and then yeah.
Kanunga Primary School in Murang'a County.
Yes.
That is central Kenya.
That's central Kenya, sure.
Oh, interesting. That's just about 2 to 3 hours drive from downtown Nairobi, right?
Exactly.
Right, interesting. So you go to school, you went to school there in primary school or middle school, as we call it in the United States.
Yes.
And then you went to high school. Where did you go to high school?
I went to high school at Mohoho High School. Proud alumni of Mohoho High School in Gatondo. That's in Kiambu.
Proud alumni of Mohoho High School?
Precisely.
Oh, in Kiambu County?
Yes, yes.
Right, so Kiambu County is just about 1 hour, north of downtown Nairobi in Kenya.
Yes.
So from high school, you went to college, but before you went to college, how was high school? I mean, in terms of, the studies and in terms of, interactions, with other students, what can you say, also in terms of the subjects or the classes you took?
So in high school at Mohoho High School was in somewhere in between the coffee farms of Gatondo, and it was an interesting experience, and I'll trace back my experience in Kenyan school from my primary school and the games we played with boys as we walked to school and carried our books in our backpacks and packed lunch. So for me, there was a bit of contrast between the kind of day school life I had been used to in the Kanunga Primary and where I finished my primary school at Thika Dam site. So there was a great contrast in between the kind of village primary school life and the boarding school life that I experienced at Moho High School. But then the boarding school gave me more opportunity to interact with teachers and people from different walks of life. So I saw my mind start opening up to new ideas as opposed to the kind of village life I had been earlier accustomed to by just walking to school with your village mates and the childhood games. Of course, primary school life was interesting because we got to experiment with funny games and playing with insects and dissecting them and trying to see what's inside them. And then you go to high school and you
Hold on. I mean, interesting. You say part of the games, used to play in middle school was involved even playing with bugs or insects. I mean, you are trying to satisfy your curiosity. I mean, that's quite something interesting. You also mentioned that you are walking to school. Approximately how many miles or kilometers were you walking to school? How long did it take you to walk to school?
I think around 3-4 kilometers to,
Hmm.
and then back in the evening. So that we would clock around 8 to 10 kilometers to school, depending on sometimes the route you want to take, because sometimes it may rain and some route may be slippery, and so
Wow, so you say you are walking 5 to 7 miles to and from school,
exactly.
and even during bad weather, storms sometimes. Oh, that must have been interesting.
Yeah, and
So,
your mom would give you like, if you don't have an umbrella, you would have a sack, and there's a way you do the sack, and you place the sack, and it appears like you have a raincoat of some sort. So there was that we had to go through.
oh wow, so you say you used to improvise, creating raincoats of some sorts and
Exactly.
umbrellas of some sorts, just to make sure that you cover yourself. But school had to go on anyway.
Yes, yes.
What made you so, I mean, in those conditions, walking 7 to 10 miles to and from school, with, lunch in your book bag. But, what was inspiring you to keep going with such conditions in Africa or in Kenya in particular?
Uh, Part of the inspiration came from, and I will say, came from my parents to begin with, because my own father was a bit futuristic, so he told us the way you get out of this place is through your books. So you have to do books and be serious about doing books. And of course, as you keep interacting with the school system, you see where this is leading to. You want a better life for yourself. You want to change maybe the family history. You especially for me, I think I
You
really
just wanted
wanted,
a better life for
yeah, I
yourself
just
on.
wanted a better life for myself, and just to push myself.
Mhm.
That's one thing I think that really speaks deep to me, to push myself amidst
Amidst
whatever.
all challenges and troubles. And you say that luckily you went to high school, which was a boarding school, meaning, you are living there, right? You are living in a dorm. That was a reprieve, from middle school life, right?
Yes, yes, yes. Now that you would get more hours to do your prep in the evening, and you you would have the teachers maybe around you sometimes. So it gave me like more time to interact with my books, and also to boarding school brings people from different areas of the country, and there was quite some learning experience for me. Of course, the other interesting thing about boarding school was that it taught me to interact with people, and luckily enough, we had science labs where the dissecting of insects that I carried from my childhood life got a chance to be practiced in the science labs, and there was also drama and theater, and so those
Hmm.
are things that
So it
got
looks
me.
like the high school curriculum is broad enough. You talk about, sciences. You talk about, doing some experiments and labs.
Yeah.
And so it looks like it was a more different and better. And quite frankly, at least food was guaranteed in a boarding school.
At least food is guaranteed in a boarding school, although your parents had to struggle with raising the fees. So we couldn't say it was all rosy, because you would sympathize with your parents, because you. What took me to Mohoho was I could say, good grades. So when you get to a school because of your good grades, you know what happens? You meet with other maybe more fortunate students. So your parent has really to
To
work
really
extra hard
work
so
extra
that
hard to
they
provide.
bridge the gap.
Hmm. Oh,
Exactly.
wow. encouraging, and I'm glad you kept on going. And
Thank
so
you.
there you go. You finish high school, then you graduate high school. What year was that?
I graduated high school in 2011.
2011.
Yes.
So you joined college in 2012.
In 2012. Yes.
Where was that?
I joined Kenyatta University.
Kenyatta University.
Kenyatta University main campus.
Kenyatta University main campus.
Yes.
So Kenyatta University, viewers, is to the east of Nairobi, about an hour's drive from downtown Nairobi. It's named after the first president of Kenya, Jomo Kenyatta. It's particularly was known for education, and later on developed other departments to become a fully fledged school. It's one of the best schools in Kenya. So there you are in Kenyatta University. What did you study?
Like you said, Kenyatta University is well known for its education program. So I got into Kenyatta University to pursue a Bachelor of Education with an inclination of teaching subjects as English and literature, which apparently I performed very well in my high school.
Oh, nice. So now you're in high school, college. You went and studied and graduated eventually. I know you took classes in education. You are an education major with a focus in English language.
Yes.
And literature, I believe.
Yes.
Oh, wow. So, that's encouraging. So you become successful after 4 years of college. How was college life? Earlier on you said you are a PhD student at the University, Indianapolis. And so obviously you can be able to compare, college life, in Kenya and college life in the United States. What major difference, what stands out, so far?
That's a very, very, very good question. And for the time that I've been here, I've been able to highlight areas of contrast. And I would say our education system in Kenya, I would say sorry to say, may appear a bit quite underfunded. When I compare to this place, I see there is intentional effort to invest in education, and especially higher education. So the education here is rigorous. So there's the issue of rigor, and there's the issue of quality, which stretches you. It teaches you to open up your mind. It teaches you to see things in a different perspective. It teaches you to be creative, and it challenges you in the space you can occupy to solve real world problems. And
so in a nutshell, you say there's greater opportunity in higher education in the United States compared to the school you went to, Kenyatta University in Nairobi. Yeah, that is wonderful. And when we return, viewers, we'll talk to Robert Rukwaro, Maina, and like I said, a student at Indiana University, Indianapolis. We are going to find out, how did he settle in? Did we have an element of culture shock? And so, again, viewers, when we return, Robert Rukwaro Maina tells us about his experiences in the United States.
thank you.